Did you know that long before there was a country called Ethiopia, this land was a mosaic of powerful kingdoms and independent nations? Each nation's Tigray, Amhara, Oromo, Somali, Harar, and Sidama had its own rulers, cultures, and unique stories, thriving for centuries on their own. These nations built cities, traded across regions, and shaped traditions that still influence Ethiopia today. Let's dive into this fascinating history, and make sure you watch until the end, because what you'll discover might completely change how you see Ethiopia. Long before written history, Ethiopia shaped the story of humanity. Around 3.2 million years ago, the famous fossil Lucy walked the Afar region. She was one of our earliest ancestors. Archaeologists have found stone tools and fossils all across Ethiopia, proving humans lived here for millions of years. Many scientists call Ethiopia the cradle of humanity, or the land of origin. From these ancient roots, complex societies began to emerge. In the highlands of northern Ethiopia and Eritrea, one of the earliest known kingdoms took shape, the civilization of Damt. Flourishing around the 10th century BCE, Damt was a sophisticated society built on a foundation of advanced agriculture, utilizing irrigation and plows to cultivate the fertile land. Its capital, believed to be at modern-day Yeha, features the remains of a remarkable stone temple, a testament to their architectural and organizational prowess. Damt developed its own written script and engaged in robust trade networks that stretched across the Red Sea, connecting it with powerful kingdoms in southern Arabia. This exchange of goods and ideas laid the groundwork for the powerhouse that would follow. By the 1st century CE, the Aksumite Empire had risen, eclipsing its predecessors to become a dominant force in the ancient world. Centered in the city of Aksum, this empire grew into a major commercial hub, strategically positioned to control the lucrative trade routes connecting the Roman Empire with India and the Far East. Its authority was projected from the crucial Red Sea port of Adulis, a bustling nexus where ivory, gold, and spices were exchanged. To facilitate this international commerce, Aksum became one of the first African civilizations to mint its own coins, inscribed in Greek and Ge'ez, which have been discovered as far away as India and the Mediterranean. The empire's wealth and power were immortalized in stone through the construction of colossal granite obelisks, or stelae, which still stand today as silent monuments to Aksum's golden age. In the 4th century CE, the empire underwent a profound transformation. King Ezana, one of Aksum's most influential rulers, converted to Christianity. This pivotal decision made Aksum one of the very first states in the world to officially adopt the faith, weaving it into the fabric of Ethiopian identity for millennia to come. To truly understand Ethiopia, we must look back to a time before its modern borders were drawn. The land we now call Ethiopia was not a single unified country. Instead, it was a vibrant and complex mosaic of distinct kingdoms, sultanates, and confederacies. Each of these entities possessed its own sophisticated systems of governance, unique cultural traditions, and a rich, independent history that unfolded over centuries. In the northern highlands lay the powerful Christian kingdom of Abyssinia, the historical heartland of the Amhara and Tigray peoples. Building on the legacy of Aksum, its rulers presided over a feudal society of powerful kings and regional lords. Their domain was characterized by formidable stone fortresses perched on inaccessible mountains, and a deep literary and religious tradition that produced magnificent illuminated manuscripts. To the south and west, the vast Oromo regions were organized not by a monarchy but by a remarkably democratic social and political system known as Gada. This indigenous institution guided the Oromo people through successive generations, with leadership rotating between different age-based groups in a complex cycle. It was the bedrock of their society, shaping everything from law and ritual to community life. In the arid lowlands to the east and southeast, Somali-inhabited regions thrived. Their society was built upon a foundation of pastoralism and extensive trade networks that connected the interior of the Horn of Africa with the bustling ports of the Red Sea and the Indian Ocean, fostering a dynamic and resilient culture. Meanwhile, The walled city of Harar stood as a formidable center of commerce and Islamic scholarship, a vital hub connecting diverse trade routes. Nearby, the Sidama people cultivated their own unique forms of governance and a rich agricultural heritage, famously giving the world the gift of coffee. These nations and many others coexisted, sometimes in peace, sometimes in conflict, but always as distinct and sovereign entities. They are a powerful testament to the fact that long before the name Ethiopia came to represent a modern state, this land was already home to ancient and enduring civilizations. Ethiopia's later history is wrapped in legend. Its rulers claimed descent from King Solomon of Israel and the Queen of Sheba. Their son, Menelik III, became the first emperor. Over centuries, the Solomonic dynasty gradually unified many kingdoms, creating what we now call modern Ethiopia. Not as an ancient country, but as a union of many nations, each with its own proud history. To truly understand the story of Ethiopia, we must first understand that it is not a single linear story. Instead, today's Ethiopian history is a magnificent collection of many histories, a mosaic of peoples and civilizations that flourished for centuries as distinct entities. Each thread is unique, woven with its own language, traditions, and political systems, and each is essential to the final tapestry. The history of Tigray, heir to the ancient Aksumite Empire and a cradle of Orthodox Christianity, is now Ethiopian history. The history of the Oromo, with their unique Gada system of governance and vast cultural landscape, is now Ethiopian history. The history of the Amhara and the imperial heartland of Abyssinia, which carried the Solomonic legacy for centuries, is now Ethiopian history. The histories of the powerful Somali sultanates, the sacred walled city of Harar, and the ancient kingdoms of the Sidama people are all now Ethiopian history. Each of these nations, and many others, had its own sovereign story, its own triumphs and struggles. They were united, often through conquest and political maneuvering, to form the modern state we know today. So, to claim there was no Ethiopia before its modern borders were drawn, misses the profound point. The lands, the peoples, and the ancient civilizations that constitute Ethiopia have existed for millennia, long before the country was named. From prehistoric humans to ancient kingdoms, from independent nations to Solomonic unification, Ethiopia's story spans millions of years. It is not a single story, but a tapestry of many peoples, cultures, and civilizations, all woven together into the Ethiopia we know today. This land is more than a country, it is a living museum of human history, where the past, present, and future meet. The true origin of Ethiopia is complex, fascinating, and deeply rooted. It is the story of humans, kingdoms, nations, and legends, all coming together over time. Ethiopia is not just a place, it is a story millions of years in the making.